All right, Ryan. Well, I guess another week and then another opponent where you guys can show that you deserve to be the number 2 team in the country. I mean, another test to prove yourselves.
Yeah, we've played Midland this year already at home. Obviously, on the road, it's always a little different, having home advantage. Midland's been a team this year that's they didn't have the best start. They played a lot of top teams at the beginning of the year, but in the second semester, they've had some big wins against some top teams. I know 2 weeks ago they beat Lindenwood in overtime, I believe, and then they also got a win against McKendree as well. So those are the type of teams that are fighting for that kind of bubble spot at national tournaments. So they're very unpredictable, and you never know what you're going to get out of them. Other than that, we know we're going to get their best game. So they're a physical team. Obviously, I think we're the faster team in that situation, but they're going to be working hard for both games and trying to get a win. But we'll just have to shut them down and just kind of show why we deserve to be where we are.
Having that week off, did that help you a little bit, or how do you look at that?
Yes and no. I mean, it's always nice to have a few extra days to get recovery, especially if there's a few bumps or bruises here or there. Obviously, it would be nice to have a consistent schedule. That opportunity didn't really come this year, just with moving up to Division I, and a lot of teams already having set schedules by the time we entered the league. So, I mean, it would be nice if we could be playing back-to-back weekends consistently, but it seems like this year it's like play a game weekend off, play a game weekend off, and so like I said, I mean, it has its perks of giving the girls a few extra days to rest, but at the same time I know that if they could be playing every weekend, they would be.
What's one thing you're kind of looking for out of this weekend?
Just consistency. We've tried to express to the girls that, in a national tournament situation where it's 5 games in 5 days, if you take a period off, it can be the end of the tournament for you. So kind of building on that consistency of playing 2 straight 60-minute games and kind of working from there. Obviously, again, we're kind of trying to figure out lineups still. We still have a few more weeks before the conference tournament to get that figured out. But just trying to find lines that are consistent and producing with each other and playing well together. And we've kind of found it in a few of them, but there's still some players and some lines that we've been switching around over the last couple of weeks to try and find something that works.
Talking about Midland's physicality in the women's game where things are called differently, where does the physicality really show up while being just legal, I guess?
Well,
Yeah.
they call it a non-contact sport, but I mean, in all honesty, it probably is a contact sport. Depending on which arena you're playing at and which sets of refs you have, will really depend on how the game goes. Here, our refs are used to calling a lot of things. So any type of body contact, rubbing out on the boards. Whereas if you look at when we were in Miami, that second game against Miami, it was pretty much a full-on brawl in terms of physicality, and there was 0 penalties called. So I mean, I think it's at the ref's discretion, and I mean, we're also a very physical team too. It's just we like to stay out of the box, but I guess kind of have to feel it out in the game 1 and see how the refs are. And obviously, we want our girls to play physical and take the body, but at the same time also not do anything dumb where it puts them in the penalty box. So.
What are some of the lines that you're confident in right now then?
Well, we've been really consistent with our one Haley Wickham, Sammy Jo Henry, and Story Navrot. That's been probably our most consistent line over the last couple of months. And then we've had Mackenzie Balla play with Cameron Klein quite a bit here, and we've had Alicia O'Hara on that line as well. But at the same time, Alicia and Cam have played well on other lines as well. So, trying to find someone that can help Mac produce, in that sense. She had that hat trick last week or 2 weekends ago, and her line mates contributed, but at the same time, it's finding those common players that are going to help each other improve, and we have so much depth on our team that really anyone can play together. It's just a matter of finding the right people to play with the right sets of lines, so.